Welcome to the check-in report. Thank you guys for joining me. We had some technical difficulties. I was trying to bring you guys this show, but the stream was acting up. Please forgive me. Thank you guys for joining me. We are here. We are brought here today to talk about Jeezy and Jeannie Mai. If you don't know, Jeezy and Jeannie Mai, better yet, Jeezy has filed for divorce. Stop the record. Let me hit the bell. Hold on, let me hit the bell. Where's my bell at? Where's my bell at? Jeezy has filed for divorce from Jeannie Mai. If you don't know Jeannie Mai, she is the popular talk show host of The Talk. And after 2 years, they have split. And I want to talk today about this is just my theory. This is just my opinion. This is just my thoughts, allegedly. So, don't give any credence to what I'm saying. Just, hear me out. This is just my thoughts on what I think of what alleged happened. I personally think Jeannie Mai is a scammer. I think that she scammed her first husband and now she is scamming Jeezy. Personally, I think that all she wanted out of the marriage, was some D and a mixed race baby. We all see the craze that's going on in Hollywood and the celebrities, and a lot of these white women, a lot of these Asian women, a lot of these women that come from different ethnicities, they have a pure fetishism with mixed race babies. And I believe that Jeannie Mai, allegedly, wanted a mixed race baby. And, of course, some D on the side. Of course not. She wanted some D. She wanted some little loving, some jungle loving with Mr. Snowman, young Jeezy. But ultimately, she wanted a mixed race baby. We see this happen. We see the Kardashians do these things. Chloe, Kim, Kylie, all have, babies with these black men to have these little mixed race kids. God bless the kids, but they have like a real fetishism with mixed race babies. And I believe that Jeannie Mai, ultimately, that's what she wanted. She wanted a mixed race baby. And I'm not saying that she wasn't in love or she didn't, that she didn't care about Jeezy at some point. But I think ultimately Jeezy got scammed. Jeezy got taken advantage of. And I think, ultimately, and this is just my theory, I think after 2 years, he was like, whoa, 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 whoa. This is not the woman that I married. All these feminist ideologies and the snapping up, because she's real feisty. She's a feisty little Asian girl. And we got to also talk about Jeannie Mai's last relationship because, in my opinion, allegedly, she scammed her last husband. Her last husband, all he wanted to have children with this woman. He wanted to consummate and have children, build a family, and she stopped him at the gate. Every time, he wanted to, shoot up the club, if you will, he stopped at the gate. Whoa, whoa. She stopped him at the gate. Whoa. You may not enter in here raw. She didn't want to have his baby. Now think about it. You've been courting a girl for years. You're dating her. You've been smashing her. You've been having a good time. You've been dating for a few years. You ultimately marry her. You're ready to start a family. But she's stopping you at the gate. You may not pass. You may not come in here raw dog. She scammed her last husband because, she talked about how, I don't know if you guys seen this. I'll try to pull it up on the screen, but she talked about how she would, have sex with, rappers and stuff like that. But she would only seriously date like, white guys, Asian guys, because they were more financially secure. But she would sleep with the rappers, just to have a little good time. So when she met with Jeezy, She was like, "Oh, I got it. He's doing good for himself. He got some real estate, you know." She thought she had a little lick right there. She thought she had a little come up right there. But Jeezy, you know, he started to wisen up to her ways. So let's get into the story, though. Let's pull it up on the screen of Jeannie Mai and Jeezy going to Splitsville. Let's pull that up. You know, and listen, you know, they're a beautiful couple. They have a beautiful young child by the name of Monaco. I believe that's the name of the child, Monaco. You know, they're a beautiful couple, man. I'll be honest, man. They're a beautiful couple. You know, I think that they make a beautiful couple, and but we have to talk about it. We have to really, lay this thing out right now. I believe Jeezy, in dealing with this woman, and running around with this woman, I believe that he started to realize that this woman has a lot of feminist ideologies. This woman is allegedly, this is my opinion, allegedly, she's a scammer. She scammed her last husband because, he married her, you wouldn't have his children, and he's like, wondering like, why you not, you had a child with this man in 2 years, but I was married to you for all these years. You didn't have a child with me. So Jeezy, I feel like they both got scammed. But we're going to pull it up. Let's just pull it up. And this is a research show. Let me put on my reading glasses because I had on my stunner shades. Let me put on my reading glasses. Give me a second, y'all. Because we're gonna get to the meat and potatoes here tonight. We're going to talk about it, And if you're coming into the door, make sure you like the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Bro. This is a research show where we do the research, where we talk about certain things. So let's go and do some research on Miss Jeannie Mai. Miss Jeannie Mai. Let's pull up the article of them going to Splitsville. And Jeezy, the interesting part about it is Jeezy filed for divorce. Jeezy, he's had enough. He's had enough of her mouth. He's had enough of her, all of the things that come with her. So it says, after tying the knot in March 2021, Jeezy has filed for divorce from Jeannie Mai Jenkins. So she did take the last name. Hold on, let me put my headphones on, y'all. I have my headphones on. The rapper and talk show host of The Real share a daughter, Monaco. Or Monaco, whatever. It's one of those names. It's over for Jeannie Mai Jenkins and Jeezy. The rapper filed for a divorce from The Real co-host on September 14th after nearly 2.5 years of marriage. According to documents obtained by NBC News, the filing states that Jeezy, real name J. Wayne Jenkins, and Jeannie are currently living in a bona fide state of separation. You know what that means, ladies and gentlemen? I'm gonna be the black male spokesman for Jeezy here today. He's had enough of her mouth. He's had enough. And I think personally, allegedly, I don't know for sure and I don't know for certain, that it may possibly be some cheating going on. It may be some, either it's just a reckless mouth. Either he feels like she just has a reckless mouth, or he's just, she's probably doing some type of cheating. But in the article, it says that their marriage is irretrievably broken. Yeah. Now, see, that to me, that sounds like possibly, allegedly, cheating with no hope for reconciliation. So there's no hope for reconciliation. That tells me that there's definitely either it was a real big fight, either they had a real nasty fight where the can was really open, where somebody really told one each other off. I want to be the black male spokesman today, because I want to talk for black men. Cause I believe I can speak to that and talk about what actually happened and why things got this bad and why he is divorcing her. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, a lot of black men, they could deal with the feistiness of a woman. They could deal with the, the reckless mouth, even some of the feminist ideologies. But when it comes to cheating, that's a cardinal sin for men. Because you got to think, in divorce, you mostly see women filing for divorce. You don't see men filing for divorce a lot. You mostly see women filing for divorce because women, they feel brokenhearted. They feel like you might have broken their trust. They may have found out that you cheated. It may be a whole bunch of things why a woman comes into play of wanting to divorce you, because mostly in the divorce courts we see women at the forefront of divorcing men. But for a man to get in divorce court and to divorce a woman, in my opinion, and this is just allegedly, I do not know, I believe there may have been some cheating involved, because for a man to take a woman to divorce court, either he just had enough of her, he just literally just had enough, he can't take her anymore, or literally she may have cheated. Maybe she may have cheated because people have speculated that she may have cheated on her last husband, that she was running around with this rapper, that rapper. Maybe she might have been doing this, maybe been doing that, doing a lot of things on the down low. But it says that it's irretrievably broken. No hope for reconciliation. The musician is also seeking joint legal and physical custody of their 20-month-old daughter, Monaco. Jeezy, 45, and Jeannie Mai, 44. So they're relatively the same age. So in my humble opinion, this is my allegedly, I do not know. I'm going to continue to say that because I do not know. I wasn't in the bed with these two people. This is allegedly. This is just my theory. I believe either she cheated or I believe that he just had enough of her mouth. Sometimes, a man just had enough. He had enough of the feminist ideology. He's had enough of your mouth. Or possibly she might have cheated on him. Because I'm going to be honest with you guys. It takes a lot for a man to divorce a woman. It really does. A lot of men will sit through a bad relationship. They will sit through a toxic relationship. They will really give a woman a time of day, unless the woman is like messing with his kids, unless the woman is like detriment to his health, like where she's like causing him harm physically or mentally, or just doing something that's really vile to him, or causing like real drama to his life. A lot of men will stick it out. It takes a lot for a man to go to divorce court and divorce his wife, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. But let's continue. Started hanging out. They started hanging out in 2018, right? About a year after she announced her split. So right after she announced her split from her husband, Freddie Haytel, which I'm gonna keep saying, in my opinion, allegedly, I think that she scammed her husband, because her last husband, not the current one, but I believe she scammed her last husband because her husband was, married to her for all that time. And he's like pretty much begging her, I want you to have my child. I want to start a family with you. And she literally was stopping this man at the gate. She had her legs wide open, spread eagle across the block. And she was like, listen, you are not raw dogging me. You are not putting your male troopers inside of me where we can have a child. Now, you got to think, for a man, that kind of hurts, because think about it. You get married. Most people get married to have children, to have children, to get the little house with the picket fence, to really build something. Most people don't get married just so they could be with their wives, just be with their wives and not start anything like in terms of a family, or not buy a house, or there's goals inside of the marriage. Because think about it, when you're dating someone, and your boyfriend and girlfriend and stuff like that, the goal is marriage. But after you're married, the next goal is what? Baby, house, things of that nature, your kids' first steps, kindergarten, your kids turning into teenagers, sending them off to college, building a family. Those things are the next priority in marriage. And when it came to that marriage step, when she was in her marriage stage with this first husband, she stopped this man at the gate. This man wanted to have a baby with her. And, as a man, in my opinion, I'm just putting myself in his shoes. I would feel very hurt about that. I would feel very hurt that I spent all this time courting this woman, and I did the right thing. You know what I mean? I gave her the things that she wanted. She wanted she wanted to get married. She wanted to she wanted to get married. She you know what I mean? You try to do the right thing by her, and she's stopping all of the things that you want. Think about it, man. Hear me out. The things that you want, right? Because you already granted her the things that she wanted. She wanted to get married. You gave her the ring. You gave her the $500,000 wedding. It was beautiful. You gave her you paid to have her get a $50,000 wedding gown. All of her family and friends are there. You guys, have a good honeymoon. You have a splendid time. You guys go through the whole ringer. After the whole marriage ceremony, you guys, you go and buy a home. You buy a $1 million home on the hills. So you're doing all of these things. And then when you're trying to say, all right, Jeannie Mai, I gave you the house. I gave you the marriage. I gave you the ring. I did everything right. And all you asking as a man that married this woman, all you asking is to have a child with the woman. And she's telling you no for the most selfish reasons for herself. Because I'm going to be honest with you. The reason why she did not want to have a child is because it was for selfish reasons. It was in my opinion, it was for selfish reasoning. She didn't want to lose her body, I guess her figure, or she didn't want to have the responsibility of a child at that time. But it only took you 2 years to have a child with young Jeezy. As her first husband, if I was her first husband, I would really feel away. I would really feel hurt that you did that. I married you and I tried to do everything that was right. And guess what? It didn't work out. Cool. You may have not liked my personality. You didn't like the way I acted or whatever it was. But if I gave you everything that you wanted, the marriage, the house, the ring, and you couldn't even give me the child that I wanted through this whole relationship, you're a trash woman, in my opinion. If you did all of that for a woman, because most women, they want the nice wedding, they want the big house, they want the ring. If you was willing to do all of those things and she couldn't even grant you a child after all of that effort, she's a trash woman. And hey, if you're coming in here, make sure you like this video, bro. Make sure you like this video. My birthday's tomorrow, man. Give me some birthday likes. All right. Give me some birthday likes today. Yeah, make sure y'all like the video though. But yeah, man, I believe she scammed both of these dudes, if you want to be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. But let me continue to read. This is in regards of her first husband. We shared a sushi dinner in Los Angeles. Salsa, then danced the night away. This is what she's saying about her first husband. Later that evening, he asked if I could no, this is about her first husband. This is her second husband, actually. I'm bugging. This is kind of mixing me up. Let me go to another article, because this article, it got too many ads on it, just messing up. But in my opinion, this is just my opinion, I believe Jeannie Mai scammed both of these dudes. She scammed both of these dudes. She scammed the first husband. She just wanted to test the water, see what marriage was about. Maybe she wanted to get a couple, she wanted to, get some alimony, some divorce money. And she scammed the first husband, allegedly. And I think that she scammed Jeezy because she wanted a mixed race baby. Listen, man, mixed race babies is the craze in Hollywood. You see the Kardashians, almost all of them, outside of Kourtney, but almost all of them have mixed race babies. All of them. From Chloe to Kylie to Kim, of course. All of them have mixed race babies. So we can't just, turn a blind eye to that. Did Jeannie Mai use, allegedly, did Jeannie Mai use Jeezy for a mixed race baby? And of course some some Atlanta rapper D. In my opinion, I believe she used him for some D, and she wanted a mixed race baby. That's all she wanted. Cause it's just like, and I ain't gonna lie. When I would see them like in but I would see them like in interviews and stuff like that. Maybe I'll pull a few of them up. When I would see them in interviews, she seemed like a real, like, like she was like, open to the idea of being a submissive woman. I've heard her in certain interviews where she talked about being a submissive woman and how she wanted her man to lead her and stuff like that. And I was like rocking with her. I was like, yo, this sound like a good woman to me. But when you're around that fat slob, like what's her name? What's the big slob? The black woman, I forgot her name. She's on the it's not Sherry Shepherd. And the name of that show is The Talk, right? When you're around women like that, hold on. The Talk host. My computer's kind of slow, y'all. It's not Cheryl Underwood. Is it The Talk? What is it? What is it called, y'all? Is it The Talk or is it something? The Real? One of those corny feminist shows where you got a bunch of women just, kicking dirt, especially the fat slob on that show. We're gonna get to her. Hold on. Let me just find out her name. The cast. And it got canceled. That's a whole nother thing. Yeah. Tamar, but it's not Tamar. Lonnie Love. There you go. That fat slob, Lonnie Love, kicking dirt on black men every time she had a chance to. But yeah, when you're surrounded around feminists like this, that, you sit next to these women every episode with their feminist ideologies. None of these women at the table were kicking, game on being a submissive woman, how to please your man. None of these women were doing that to, they weren't giving her any game. They weren't, trying to empower her in her marriage with this man. They were just kicking feminist ideology to her. And of course she was eating it up. She's a grown woman. She's 40, 40, so she has her own mind. But yeah, man. But when I saw them, let me see if I can pull some stuff up on them. But when I seen them, to me it seemed like she was like on a feminist, not feminist. It seemed like she was on her like submissive bag. Like she was trying to be a submissive woman. She was trying to be an honorable woman. She wasn't, doing too much. Every time I saw her, outside of her being on the the Talk or the Real Talk, whatever the name of that shit, The Talk, The Real, it's just too many of these shows. The View, The Talk, The Real, whatever it is. Whenever she was on that show, it seemed like she was always bigging up her man, and I was respecting it. And then every time I saw Jeezy, he was bigging her up. She was in interviews saying that she want her man to lead her, and I was rocking with her. But clearly, something went wrong. Something went awry. Whether she allegedly cheated on him, because I'm gonna say it again. Listen, it takes a lot for a man to divorce a woman, bro. Like, I've known men, and I can speak from my experiences. First, let me speak from my experiences. Like, I've been in some very toxic relationships, and I'm talking about in my youth, more so in my youth, not more so now, more so in my youth. But I've been in some very toxic, bad relationships, bro. And a lot of those relationships, I can only speak for me, but I've stuck a lot of those relationships out when I should have left, when I should have just deaded the girl and never called her, never talked to her again. I stood in that situation. And I can speak for a lot of the men that I've been around. They've dealt with toxic women and, just toxic situations involving women. A lot of them stay. A lot of them chill. A lot of them wait it out. And You know what I mean? So, in my opinion, it takes a lot for a man to divorce a woman. It takes a lot. A man ain't just, hold on. Let's watch this video. Jeezy speaks the real on Jeannie Mai. Hopefully we can hear what he was saying about this woman. Maybe he can give us some insight.
What does your video sound like? Go to artlist.io and get the best music and sound.
Let me pause that. Let's watch this video of Jeezy talking about this.
You're friends with both.
All right, this is kind of going nowhere. He's not talking about nothing. I was trying to hear, them talk about them, the relationship, whatever they got going on. Let me see if I can find the video in terms of their relationship and what they had going on, because all the videos that I seen was, her pretty much saying that she wanted him to lead him. Now, let's play this video. Jeannie Mai. I didn't respect my ex-husband. He wasn't my equal. Jeezy is my equal. Let's play that. I got to play that one. Let's play this.
I have always worked on growing, healing, and evolving. And when I look at when I didn't want to have kids, I was really happy and content with where I was. But I was still trying to grow. Today, let's just say I didn't have a child. I'd still see myself as evolved and continuing to. You never become fully evolved, right? But something happened and I just changed my mind. I said, you know what? And it really is, because I'm in a trustworthy relationship and I also am not being so hard on myself anymore and I've healed, I changed my mind and I said, you know what? I want to be a mom. I chose it.
You see how a lot of these women are, this is what I want to say, right? You see how a lot of these women, when you hear them talk like this, it just sounds like very selfish. Like you're speaking in terms of the relationship you had with your ex-husband, and it just sounds like everything was based off of you. It wasn't based off of, like, think about it. You went and got married, right? You went in front of a pastor or a priest or whatever, and you made this union in front of God, and you wanted to commit your life and your body to this man, right? For life. Because you made vows. When people get married, they are making a decision to say, you know what, this is the man, this is the woman that I will be committed to for the rest of my life. So we got to stop acting like a marriage is just some type of paper you could just rip up and throw it in the trash. You are making a commitment. You are making a vow to this man. You are sleeping with this man. So we also have to talk about the soul ties and the spiritual ties you have to this man. And everything that she's saying that I'm listening into the first part of this interview is all about her. It's not about them. It's not about her and her husband. Everything is about her. Everything is about how she feels, what she wants, what she's internalizing. Nothing is about we. It's all her. How I feel. This is what I felt. This is what I wanted. You're in a marriage. You are committed to someone. You are spiritually linked to someone. And these types of women are dangerous because they're going to have 3, 4, 5 divorces on their hands. And they're going to be forever be spiritually linked to these men that they, marry. They have relations with, they have babies with, just like Jeezy had a baby with her. And you're going to forever be linked to these men. You can rip up the marriage all you want. You're always going to be spiritually linked to these men that you slept with, that you married, that you had babies with. So women have to stop cheapening the role of a marriage and thinking that it's not important and it's something that can be broken. And as soon as he doesn't respect me like I respect myself, I can leave. That's not how it works. And a lot of you women need to hop off of your high horse. Stop internalizing everything. Stop thinking that everything is about you. It's not. And if you women think it's me just on some manosphere, you're just dumping on the women, I would say the same thing. If the roles were reversed and it was a man sitting here saying how I feel, this is how I feel, this is what I wanted, and I didn't care how my wife felt, I would be like, yo, dog, you're wrong. Because you are committed to that woman. You should be caring what that woman thinks. You should be caring how that woman feels. Because y'all combined. Y'all together. Y'all are married. So like, I just feel like, just the American women just have really cheapened the role of marriage. They just continually cheapen the role, and it just becomes all about them. It becomes all about what they want. But let's continue.
I decided to shift my perspective and choose this for myself.
Woo! This week's topic is one that...
Now, keep in mind, you're married. You're married. You are married. And when people get married, more than likely they want to have children. Now, listen, if before they got married, she told him like, yo, listen, we can get married, but I'm not going to have your baby. And if he understood that, then that's different. Okay, at least she told him, and maybe he didn't respect it. But if she told him, if she outright said, listen, we're not going to have any babies, I'll marry you, but we're not going to have any children, then I can respect her. But if he thought in his head like, yo, we're going to get married, we're going to have these babies, we're going to have 2-3 kids, and we're going to have this big house on the hill, and she pretty much married him, then pretty much scammed him and told him, no, we're not having no kids. She pretty much stopped him at the gate. You will not pass. You know what I mean? Like she closed the Red Sea on him, and closed those legs and said, hey, listen, I'm not taking it raw dog. Then, I totally disagree with this woman. She's a vile woman. She's a messed up woman. If you are married to a man, he deserves the right to have children from you. He deserves, if you're committed to the man. I'm not talking about no some dude you just want to play finger bang with, or some dude that you made out with in the lobby. I'm talking about a dude you're committed to, a dude that you're having relations with, a dude that's committed to you, a dude that wants to be your man, a dude that you're married to, a dude that you're having relations with. I think he deserves the right to have a child from you if he's taking you that serious, if he's already taken the step of marriage. But let's continue.
That everybody can contribute and relate to some capacity. Should you change core parts of yourself once you get into a relationship?
Like my favorite quality in a person that I think is so attractive is self-awareness. I love when someone's self-aware, to be like, you know what? That was kind of narcissistic of me, or that was kind of selfish of me, or that, and then whatever you see when you call that out, do what you got to do in order to kind of grow out of that, or stop, or draw a boundary between you and that person. For example, I have a really hot temper. Not a lot of people know this, but it's just something.
There you go. There you go. Now, was that the reason why Jeezy said, I had enough? Did Jeezy deal with her hot temper? Maybe, she looked like she has a fly mouth. She looked like she could really yell. She looked like, Jeezy would be like, hey, listen. Hey, like he would be. Jeezy seemed like he's like real laid back, and if she started yelling, he would be like, "Hey," and he would just be doing his ad libs, And Jeannie Mai seemed like she'd be screaming at the top of her lungs, combative. Let's continue though.
My family, I've seen it. My grandmother. Saw it in my grandfather, to my grandmother, to my mom, to my aunts, to me. Mm-hmm. Right. But I didn't notice it in myself.
Hey, make sure y'all like the video, man.
Until I was with Jeezy.
Don't just be a looky low. Like my video. Like the video, man.
Interesting. You didn't notice in your previous marriage?
No, because it has to do with the type of relationship you have and the type of respect you have for that person, to mirror things back to you where you actually would stop you in your tracks. And
now listen to what she's saying. She's saying, I respect Jeezy, and if you see the title of the video, it says, Jeannie Mai, I didn't respect my ex-husband. He wasn't my equal. Jeezy is my equal. But listen, let me say this off the rip, off the bat. In terms of your first husband, you chose him. And a lot of you women, respectfully, you sleep with these men, you have relations with these men, you may have babies with these men, you marry these men. But then you come to a realization that, oh, he's not my equal. How isn't he your equal? You've been receiving his bodily fluids. You've been laying in bed with this woman. You two are equal. You are spiritually linked to this man forever. You think just because you got a little cushiony job at Fox, the Talk, the Real, whatever it's called, like just because you got that little gig, you think that you're above him? And that's another issue with American women, with Western women. They think that finances run the relationship. They are deceived that finances run the relationships. It doesn't matter if a woman is making $1 billion a year, or $500 million a year, $1 million a year. If she's making more money, as a woman, you still have to receive the rod, respectfully. You still have to carry that baby for 9 months. You still are the woman. When a robber, God forbid, but if a robber comes in the house and he's gonna create harm in the house, nobody's expecting you to be the protector and the provider that time. That's the man's job. So they feel like just because they make more money in a relationship, and this is how women think of you, men. You need to take notes, because she married this man. The first husband, she married that man, and she's on here talking about he's not my equal. How isn't he your equal? When two people get married, they become one. It's a union. So it doesn't matter if a man is making $100 million and a woman is only making $7 an hour, or vice versa. You married that woman, she's your equal. You married that man, he's your equal. But Western women are really deceived. They believe that finances run the relationship. It doesn't. A woman is always going to be in a woman's place, and a man is going to always be in a man's place. Just because you look at a few videos and you see a couple of homeless brothers that sleep with these women because they need a place to stay, respectfully, and shout out to them, though they are not the example. Because let's be honest, none of those dudes are committing to those women. None of those dudes are getting on one leg and trying to marry these women. But if these men did get on one knee and marry these women that they don't have a place to stay, but they're sleeping with these women that have homes or apartments. Listen, you cuff this man. So if you married a bum, if you married a homeless dude, if you married a dude that's a low life, he's your equal. He becomes your equal as soon as you marry him. And he is automatically the man in that relationship. But, Western women think that just because, I make more money than him, so he's not my equal. Who is here to tell me anything? I'm not going to have his child. But let's continue.
Evaluate yourself,
So you had it.
So I
you
had
didn't
it, but
acknowledge it as a problem.
nobody ever called me out on it. Also, in my line of work, sometimes being a boss isn't so great for you, because you have a lot of people who just agree to what you want.
We got 6 people in here. Make sure y'all like this video, man. Like this video. Like this video, man. Like this video. All right.
They're yes men.
Like the video.
Right. And so
Trying to get my likes up.
I didn't notice that I had a hot temper until I got with Jeezy. And here's a person who is my equal and I really respect. And when I
Now listen to that. She didn't respect her last husband. She didn't respect her last husband. Listen, if you are dealing with a woman that doesn't respect you, you need to get out of there quick. You think about it. She divorced a man because she didn't respect him. This is like Western woman 101. So let me get this straight, Jeannie Mai. Let's get this straight. I'm going to go down the list. He was good enough to sleep with. He was good enough to lay in bed with. He was good enough to marry. He was good enough to get engaged to. He was good enough to go through the ceremony. He was good enough for all these things. He was good enough to court you. He was good enough to take on a date. He was good enough for all these things. But he wasn't your equal. And you don't respect him. You don't respect him. Therefore, you don't respect him because he wasn't your equal. Tell me, how does that make sense? How does that make sense? He was good enough to sleep with. He was good enough to marry. He was good enough to court you. But you don't respect him. That doesn't make sense to me. And it shouldn't make sense to you. How is a man good enough for all these things, but you don't respect him, and he's not your equal? He didn't put your legs behind your ears in bed. You guys went on 100 dates. He got on bended knee, married you, but he's not your equal, and you do not respect him. That makes absolutely no sense. This is the Western woman. They think that finances run their relationships. It doesn't. And you are responsible for who you marry. You are responsible for who you date. You are responsible for who you procreate with. Jeannie Mai, you can't get married to a bum and then, oh, he's not my equal, I gotta divorce him. You can't be reckless with your mouth and you don't want some guy to challenge you. Like, I believe maybe Jeezy was probably challenging her. Oh, he's too aggressive. He's too controlling of me. I gotta get out of here. Women like this are gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4 divorces on their record. This is the Western woman, and it's a problem in America. America has the most epidemic-wise divorce rates because we allow women to be uncontrollable. We allow women to run around and think that they could act this way, behave this way. We're not creating wives in America. We're creating uncontrollable women that are selfish, that only think about themselves, internalize everything in a relationship they internalize every single thing in a relationship. Everything is about them. Everything is about how they feel. Nothing is about family. Nothing is about husband and how he feels and what he wants. Nothing is about the children that have to go through the divorces, have to go through the broken homes, have to go through the child support. This is what the Western woman believes in. This is what they're creating. And we need to stop creating these types of women. It's an epidemic. The mindset is an epidemic. But let's continue.
I would spew some of my old habits. And he was like, like, who? That's not flying here. And also, it would trigger him to come back at me with things where I was like, who the fuck do you think you are? But I was triggering him.
You see that, right? Yeah, I see that. So it would be safe to say, more than likely, she has a real slick mouth. She already said that she has a temper. So I believe Jeezy probably just had enough of this woman. He had enough of her feminist ideologies. He had enough of her internalizing everything. Everything is about her. Everything is about how she feels. Nothing is about the family. Nothing is about her husband. Everything is selfish. It's not selfless. Everything involving her is selfish. It's not selfless. She's not selfless at all. She's not doing anything to enrich her family into being better, into growing closer with her husband, growing closer to building that family. It's all about her. And this is now her second divorce because she wanted to be an uncontrollable woman, out of control woman, allegedly. But let's continue.
So through work, we learned that we both have certain habits that to the everyday person, friends, family, fans, they'll never see it. But to the person who loves us deep enough, you can press that button and boom, the dragon comes out. And we both have it. So we had to work on that. But he never told me to fix my temper. I just saw it and I thought, unless I want to stay in this place where I lose this person I love and I stay.
So did she lose her temper? Cause I ain't gonna lie. I believe that Jeezy was challenging her. I believe Jeezy was challenging her thoughts, challenging her opinions, and he was checking her. He was probably like, whoa, you ain't gonna be in here with this attitude. You ain't gonna be acting like an out of control Western woman. You're gonna have a little bit of respect. You better learn some Asian customs, because I know good and well they don't treat husbands like that in Asia. The Asian women have respect in that continent. So, maybe he was trying to give her a little bit of that, but she was like, "Nah, we in America, and I'm gonna twerk my neck, and I'm gonna snap my fingers, and I'm gonna raise my temper, and I'm gonna raise holy hell every time you piss me off." And ultimately, that's why Jeezy, allegedly, that's probably why he filed for divorce. He probably had enough of her mouth. He probably had enough of her twerking her neck. Listen, just because you hang around a bunch of black girls and you want to twerk your neck and you want to snap your fingers, you ain't no black woman, all right? And I'm not going to deal with that coming from no Asian woman. That's probably what happened. He probably was like, "Listen, man, I'm from Atlanta, bro. I'm from Atlanta. I've already dealt with the chicken heads and the black woman twerking their neck, snapping their fingers. I don't need that coming from you." All right. You not from that culture. You not from that. I don't need that. I already got 2-3 baby mamas that I'm dealing with that. Now I got to get that from you. I got to come home. Like, think about that. Honestly, as a black man, if you're a black man watching this, think about that. He probably dated this woman to get away from that type of, attitude. He probably dated this woman to get away from the tempers and the snapping of the fingers and the attitude. But he realized, man, maybe I should have dated a woman that's just not from Western, from Western culture. I need to go out of America to find a woman, because they all have this attitude. They all have this disposition. They all feel entitled. They all, everything is about them. It's all selfish. None of it is selfless. None of them are trying to build. You know what I mean? She just wanted a mixed race baby, allegedly, and she's using me, and I had enough of her. And I believe maybe that's probably why Jeezy just said, "You know what? I'm out of here, bro. Had enough of this woman. I'm had enough of her mouth." And I applaud him. And he in the report we just read it earlier, he's saying that it's irretrievably. There's at no point are they going to reconcile. And I believe that he just hit his tipping point with this woman, because when you see how she talks about her first husband, it kind of opens up your eye to her attitude. It kind of opens up her eye, open up my eye to how she moves. In this interview, you see how she internalizes everything. Everything is about her. Everything is about how she feels. And if she's not happy, then everybody's going to be unhappy. None of it's about family. None of it's about, and if you're a woman and you're watching this, respectfully, if you're a Western woman, you're from America, why is that? I would like any woman that's watching this, whether in the rebroadcast or whether in the live stream, why is it that everything is about you? Why is it only about you? Why isn't it about your family? Why isn't it about your husband? Why isn't it about building that family, building that husband? Why, just because you're mad, just because you're aggy, just because you're not having a good day, just because you don't feel fulfilled in your relationship, just because, whatever it is that's going on with you, just you, why, just because whatever's going on with you, everybody else has to suffer? Just because you're depressed, just because you don't like the way you're being talked to in a relationship, why does your husband have to suffer? Why does your child have to suffer? Why do you have to break up a marriage from a good man? Why does a child have to lose a father and he has to go and fight for custody and go to the divorce courts and pay child support. Why? Just because you can't handle your attitude, just because you can't check yourself, just because you can't be a submissive woman to a man. Ask yourself that. If you're a Western woman, if you're you're Americanized woman, why just because you're unhappy, everyone else in a relationship has to suffer? Because I've asked myself that a lot of times in regards to Americanized women, in regards to Westernized women. Why just because they feel unhappy or depressed that everyone else has to suffer? I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair to the children. I don't think that's fair to the husband that's probably trying to keep things together. Whether it be his marriage, whether it be his love life with the woman that he's with, I don't think that's fair. I mean, when you think about the families that are, or because when a divorce happens, and we're about to pack this show up, but when a divorce happens, I mean, it's a domino effect. It hurts a lot of people, bro. Because think about it. Both of you guys' families, you come to a wedding, you guys are vibing, you know what I mean? You're having a good time. You're knocking back the wine after the wedding. Everybody becomes friends. The family becomes close. Both sides of the family, they're supporting you. They're cool now. Now you got other family members from different sides pulling up to the events for birthdays, Christmases. And when you guys divorce, think about the domino effect. The man and the woman, they split. Now the children have to deal with the split. They have to deal with the child support and the custody battles. Now the family can't pull up to the other family's functions, and it's tension, and it's some type of beef. And your daughter is a home wrecker, or your daughter is just a bad person. Oh, your son is a trash human being. He treats my daughter like trash. This, that, and the third. It really messes up two families. And the real victim really is going to always be the children. The children are always going to be the ones that suffer. Just because you, as a woman, respectfully, can't keep your feelings in check. Just because you feel depressed, or you feel like you can't work things out with your husband, or just because you can't check yourself, just because you can't be a submissive woman. Everybody's going to lose because of you. Respectfully. And that's allegedly. I don't know the ins and outs of their relationship, but in my opinion, this is probably what happened. But I want to thank you guys for joining me. This is the check-in report. I want to come in with a late night stream and talk to you guys. Get to talking with you guys. Get to walking with you guys. But thank y'all for joining me. Make sure y'all like this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. This is the check-in report, man. I'm out of here. Toodles.